As I stand here in the last year of my third term, there are still things to be done. I'm here today to ask you, the residents of Orange County, for the honor of serving a fourth term as your sheriff. Just a short comment to Orange County Conservative Party Chairman John DeLessio and all the conservatives in the House, because I know we have a few here. You will always have a place in Orange County and by campaign, even though the governor doesn't think you have a place in New York State. And David Huvler and I will be there Monday night in Albany for the dinner for CPAC. I also want to recognize our new county executive, Steve Newhouse, District Attorney Dave Huvler, and County Clerk Annie Rabbit. Friends, all of them friends of mine for many years, colleagues, together as partners, and I emphasize that word, partners, we will move Orange County forward with a new era of spirit and compromise. Believe me, with this team, things will get done, and I want to be part of it. You know, over the past few years, some good legislation has been passed. I'm not going to get into all of it, but namely the All Crimes DNA database and the legislation for the regulation of bath salts. When the SAFE Act was passed, I spoke against it. Much like Obamacare, we are seeing that what was passed is much worse than we expected. There is something very wrong about a government that is willing to use law enforcement assets and taxpayer money to monitor and control the actions of law-abiding citizens. Yes. And that's exactly what it does. The SAFE Act does not focus on putting criminals away for using their illegal guns. Instead, it is designed to make criminals out of law-abiding citizens for possessing certain guns, magazines, and ammunition. I have spent my entire adult life through my career in law enforcement pursuing criminals in order to bring them to justice. I cannot at this point in my life and career use a bad law to pursue law-abiding citizens. Thank you. My office will use every legal method available to me to ensure that the constitutional rights, that's okay, the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens are protected, and we will work diligently for repeal. Yep. The job of the Orange County Sheriff is a monumental job not to be taken for granted. It's a 24/7 operation covering 816, 830, depends who you talk to, square miles, 400 employees, a $60 million budget, 400,000 square foot facility hosting on the average of 500 to 600 daily guests that really don't want to be there, and it requires a manager and a staff who looks upon their job as just that, the job, not a position. The past 11 years we have been challenging, yet exciting. We have 4 accreditations. New York State Division of Criminal Justice Service for law enforcement, Corrections Division achieved accreditation from the American Correctional Association, the first county facility in New York State to do so, the New York State Sheriff's Association, and the National Commission on Correctional Health Care. Accreditation audits from these outside agencies affirms our commitment to structured operations, training of our personnel, and reduction in liability costs. You know, and we're not done. My accreditation manager, Greg Gaetano, my chief criminal investigator. Greg, where are you? You're here somewhere. Right there goes Greg. Okay. I think most of you know he's been with me since before the beginning. He's been working diligently with his staff toward a 3rd national accreditation from the Commission on Accredited Law Enforcement Agencies. With the other two national accreditations, it will make the Orange County Sheriff's Office one of 35 out of over 3,100 counties nationwide to hold the 3 national accreditations. Very, very big. These accreditations and other innovations have led our facility to be recognized for best practices on a national level, surpassing stringent audits to house Immigration Customs Enforcement detainees, utilizing vacant bed space by housing these detainees, along with inmates from other counties, wait to hear this number, has grossed over $40 million in revenue for Orange County since September of 2003. That doesn't count all the other grants that we have. The other grants, you'd be up over $45 million, and probably by the end of this year, we might even tip $50 million. An obvious boost to the county's general fund, and critical. In past years, Orange County has had a surplus. Some of our other major accomplishments, being awarded over $1 million in federal and state funding for Homeland Security, Corrections Administration, technology, including Offender Watch, a state-of-the-art web access program to better inform the public of sex offenders living in their community. I believe Dan was there when we brought that in. He was chairman of Public Safety. We also have consolidated the deputy sheriffs and correction officers to form the Orange County Sheriff's Office Special Operations Group. This highly trained unit responds to emergency situations as requested by outside police agencies, as well as inside the Orange County Jail. In years past, we have also combined service with the New York State Police to maximize narcotics investigations. Partnering with our new district attorney, Dave Hoovler, we are now in the process of forming a joint Orange County Narcotics Task Force. Okay, that's good. Counterterrorism planning is also a major focus as we concentrate on our highways, bridges, passenger and rail freight lines, shopping centers, waterways, water supplies, power lines, fuel storage, all that critical infrastructure in Orange County. It's all there. This is what a lot of us think about all the time. One focal point in Orange County is our schools, as there are over 100 public schools and many other private and parochial schools. Over 65 of those are elementary and middle schools. All levels of law enforcement meet regularly to share information vital to our readiness. It is very clear to me what the Orange County residents want: accountability and innovation. I have delivered that and more to the voters, the county executive, and the legislature. My administration has not made the issues personal or self-serving. The mandate from the voters now is to the county executive and to the legislature that the voters overwhelmingly approve the job we are doing, and now it's up to them to strengthen their commitment to supply us with the support and tools we need to continue these goals and accomplishments that are planned for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Our next 4 years will be really exciting. A work in progress generates thought and opens us up to new ideas when facing a unique challenge. A growing county that our elected officials so often talk about need a sheriff's office to meet those growing needs. Some important issues. School resource officers. Again, our focus is on our schools. I offer the sheriff's office to help with this task with the authorization from county government. Yes, it will require additional staff, but it will be reimbursed by the school districts. The sheriff's office already provides SROs to Orange Ulster BOCES and has a proven track record with this detail, dovetailing with our current focus on school emergency response plans. Special needs in corrections, juveniles, mental health, and certain medical conditions continue to generate overtime. Working with the other sheriffs and state agencies, we're always advocating options to ease these state-mandated policies and procedures. My background in technology has been a big part of the sheriff's office, utilizing existing information and video systems that all play into the comprehensive operations of a correctional facility. We'll be expanding our video system to our court holding facility and further using existing equipment to facilitate video court appearances for inmates. We further will be utilizing computer and video equipment to facilitate inmate visitation by county and state agencies, attorneys, and other official visitation. This will reduce inmate transport and movement costs. This technology all being paid for by federal grant funding applied by and awarded to my administration. I will continue, as I have for the last 11 years, to advocate for the construction of a countywide police training facility with environmentally safe firearms training for police officers in Orange County. This will allow us to better train our deputies and police officers and more efficiently for less than it costs to do it today. Law enforcement in the 21st century deserves equality with the other emergency services. Once our firearms range that is scheduled for construction in the spring of this year is operational. We will offer firearms training at a reasonable cost to retired police officers that must meet training standards to be compliant with the HR 218. We will also launch a new program to help train women who seek handgun permits, something that you can't find at too many places out there. As a public servant who started his career as a Middletown cop, there is no greater honor than serving as a chief law enforcement officer of one of the New York's fastest growing counties. It's okay, Jim, no problem. Well, I don't think he'll be voting for me when he gets old enough to. So that's all right. No, that's fine. You know, and really, you know, you talk to Steve. You know, anybody asks me, Steve Bresch and Steve Newhouse. A lot of Steves I got to remember, right? But you know, it's really interesting that, you know, is it okay if I bring my kids? Of course it is. You know, we welcome everybody here. But it is important to have the support, encouragement, and help from you. The people simply ask that we do our job well with professionalism and integrity. These past 11 years have been the most rewarding years of my professional career. My management will be judged pursuant to current planning, how we handle acute change, and adjust for change and progress, and what we have in the hopper for the future. Leaders without vision are just managers. I have a vision and goals to realize that vision. Our residents expect that from me. With your help, we will make our county, our communities, and our cities a better place to work, live, and raise a family. We're almost done. I want to thank my wife, Barbara, who's sitting here in the front row. Okay. My sons, Austin and Griffin, my mom and sister, Regina, who all have been very supportive and tolerant of my schedule. I also thank my command staff, consisting of Ken Jones, Greg Gaetano, Rich Honorati, Dennis Barry, Ken Decker, Barbara Martinez, and all my supervisory personnel.